What's up guys, this is Kyle from Nashville Coyotes. I play competitive airsoft for them and I also play competitive paintball for them. Today our sponsor shipped us a gun build here by Skull Performance here. We got some goodies to unbox here to begin with and we'll show you a whole install video. Alright guys, we got the first box here. We got our grip here from Skull Performance. Let's unbox this bad boy. We went with a nice blue with a nice splatter on it. And this is the first time seeing it myself and it looks amazing, I will say that. There it is with that splatter job on it. And also the packaging, this is awesome. It's got magnets in the box. It's just one of a kind. I haven't seen anything like it before. But that's the grip here. Set that off to the side. Then we'll save the big box for last here. We do have the carbon upper here from them. Here it is right here. This is the main plate that the carbon upper attaches to the body here. Then to go with that, we chose the blue carbon upper here. Very nice, very nice. Then we'll go to this box right here. This is his new gearbox they just came out with for the HPAs. It's a two-piece kit. Look at this bad boy. We went with the all black, so it's gonna be black and blue build. Here's the main part where your trigger will go. Then this part attaches to that, and this is where your engine is gonna mount to. So it's all modular, so you can take it apart while the gun's assembled, so you can do service to the HPA system. Then we got our main box right here. This is bread and butter right here. Got some more stickers here. And here's the main guy right here. Look at this. Then we got a nice laser engraving of our initials of the team there. But that thing just looks sick. Then we also went with the metal handguard with I believe a 6-inch outer barrel here. I chose both because why not? Be able to swap it up mid-season, or if it just depends on the field, if I want the carbon upper or the metal barrel of playing outside or indoors. Alright guys, we're going to start this build off. We're going to start with the meat here with the gearbox here. Let's go ahead and just take the gearbox apart. We're going to do the lower portion first. Alright, I'm going to get my trigger board set up here. I'm going to be using the F2 for my build. With these connectors attached here. I'm going to grab the little accessory bag, little parts bag that came with the gearbox here. We'll go through what everything does in here. We got a little tool for all the screws here. This is going to be the line adapter that we'll look at later. So we got some washers and shims here. This one's a little shinier and thicker. We're going to set that aside. That's for the trigger board. Then we have 2 torque screws here. One's going to be longer. The longer one we're going to set aside. We're going to use that later, but the shorter one's going to be for your trigger board. Then we have these alignment screws. There's 2 long ones and 1 short one. We'll set those to the side. But for now, to get this trigger board in, I am going to grab the shorter one here and get this started in my trigger board. I'm using the F2 here. So I'm going this top hole. You don't really need to tighten it super hard, just make sure it's nice and snug so you don't chip that board there. But that's in place. Once I got it perfectly aligned, I am gonna give it its last snug. Alright. Alright guys, we're gonna install the trigger part here. In the kit provided, it comes with shims. So you're gonna use the shims so it doesn't smush the trigger, so you're able to move it freely. I went ahead already and put the shims on and tested it already. So I'm gonna put my trigger all together with the shims. I used 2 shims on the top, the really thin one and the normal size one, and it seemed to be perfect. Once it's all aligned, make sure your cords aren't being pinched. We're gonna start putting the screws back in. Now we got our gearbox set up with the trigger. On the back here is where you're gonna put your selector plate, but I'm just gonna keep this in semi only. It's semi-lock, so I did not order a selector plate, but that's what you would do here now. We're gonna move to the top portion here. Take these screws off. We're gonna take the 2 long screws here, the alignment screws. If you're using a carbon upper, you will not need these, but these are gonna go on the side here. And the short one is going to go in this spot here. That's going to help with alignment with your engine. After we got those alignment screws in, we're going to set this to the side. We're going to need the body next here. So we're going to go ahead and take the upper off of this body so we can put that gearbox in. Set this lower guy in there for now. Then in the body kit, it's got some accessories. Now we're gonna grab this pin for the gearbox here. Slide this down in this hole here. Might have to move the gearbox around into little lines. Then it is got a threaded side that you're gonna have to smack lightly to get it punched all the way through. We got the lower part of the gearbox in. We're gonna put the upper piece in. Now with this gearbox, once you set it in here, once you get it aligned, you're gonna check these alignment screws, and we're gonna set those out so there's not so much left and right play here. So this is gonna sit up here, and we are gonna put the end cap in to get this top piece aligned. Alright, after we got the end cap screw in lightly snug at the top here, this is where that screw is going to go. It's going to connect the upper piece to the lower piece. We got half of the top put in already. I did not tighten this end cap yet. I'm going to put this set screw, this little rifle pin in first while it's loose. And once that's tight, I'm going to tighten my end cap here. Snug it down. Then we'll put the engine in, then we'll get this gearbox closed up here. When we put the engine in, it's gonna sit right here, but we have this adapter here. If you want to be able to service your engine and be able to take it out, you'll need to cut your line just like this and pull the engine out without taking the entire gearbox out. So I'm gonna set this line in just like I would with a different build and see where I would need to cut my hose. So it looks like I'm gonna have to cut it around here if I want access, easy access, to be able to disconnect it and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, then we'll come right back to it. Alright guys, we got the engine in, we got our microline cut. You want the fitting kind of close so you can access it, so you'll be able to press the release tab here. You'll be able to pull your engine out without messing with the end of it or anything like that. So we'll get this top piece on. Long screw is going to go in the back here. Alright, once we got these screws tightened down, we'll move to the alignment pin here. Tighten this down a little bit. Now the engine should be nice and firm and the whole gearbox shouldn't move after you got all these pieces in. But that's what it should look like. And we'll move on to the grip next. To get the gearbox done, I'm going to set that down here. Then we got the grip here. It's got some pieces inside, so we're going to go ahead and take this back piece off. So we got a little support plate, then we have our grip screws, and we have our macro line adapter here. So to get this started, we're going to need our Wolverine regulator. We got a grip here, we're going to put the regulator in. We got our Wolverine reg. I went ahead and already took the gauge off, and I took the line adapter that was already on it. We're going to go ahead and insert the logo part down. And when you do this, the adjustment here is going to be by the serial number, and you want that pointed down so you'll be able to adjust it at the bottom of the grip here. Once we get that dropped in here, we're going to go ahead and put the macro line adapter in first. Once you drop that fitting down in there, we're going to come from the bottom with an Allen key here, and we're going to turn it counterclockwise, and it'll start to tighten up and align in there. We're going to move on to the gauge part. For the gauge, I'm going to put some Teflon tape on there. You got your Teflon tape on, we're going to screw it on the bottom here. I'm going to get a wrench to tighten the rest of this up here. Just be careful when you do this so you're not scratching your grip. You got the gauge in there, and the macro line fit in. This bad boy should be snug. And if you put it in right, once we take this little tournament lock off here, you'll be able to adjust your regulator. Alright, now we got the grip together. We're going to put it with the gun here. I went ahead and test fitted it and cut my line here so it fits down perfectly without it bending too much. So we're going to go ahead and need to grab this too. Now I'm going to put this piece in here. Then I'm going to feed my macro line and wire in. And once we can start putting our grip screws in. Alright, once we got those grip screws tightened down, I'm going to add our FCU. Alright, we're going to install the mag release here. We need a Phillips head here. Come on this side. Install our mag release pin closest to the selector switch. Put our spring in. Then this part's a little tricky. The easiest way I found is just to put the screw in, set it on top, get your screwdriver like this, And don't cross thread it, but slowly work it in, and it should line up. We're gonna move on to the upper part here. Alright, we're gonna grab these two pieces here, and they got notches here. We're gonna align them with these notches here. Just like that. And we're gonna screw on our handguard here. Alright, got that screwed together with the hop up in here. Just like that. Then we're gonna slide this upper to the lower here. Check the alignment. Then we're gonna put the screw in. Tighten that screw up. Make sure that's tight. And all we gotta do is put the battery in, tune this, and we're good to go.